Hey, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to the homestead. Mike and I are down here at the bottom. We are finishing up or continuing on and hopefully finishing our chicken coop project down here at the bottom. So we have some 2x4s to cut right now, a bunch of metal to put up, so we should probably get right to it. The 2x4s are to screw up horizontally so that we can screw some more metal to it on this side as well as this side. We decided to do metal rather than wood on at least 3 of the sides because we have a lot of extra metal and we hope that is going to last us just a little bit longer than the wood would. You know, the wood is going to rot within 5-7 years or so. The metal should last us quite a bit longer, not to mention we do have a lot of extra metal just sitting in a pile back behind our shed.
Bless you. All right, guys, so we are down to the last piece of metal that we need to put up, and I think we're gonna wait on that because we want to put a door right here. We have this big kind of glass half metal door that we want to try to hang off of this post, maybe clean up a few of the knots. So I think we're gonna go get that door.
Okay, it looks like this door is gonna work good. This thing is pretty heavy duty. This is one of 2 that we had bought from somebody off Facebook. It's like an old outdoor sliding glass door. So it's, you know, built for the outdoors. It's pretty heavy, pretty thick glass, you know, so. And it looks like we're going to have to just do minimal digging, which is a good thing. We want this tight. So I think the hinges will go up against this post. It's pretty straight. We're gonna have to come through and take these knots off. No big deal. Need to find some hinges. Okay, before we head inside to look for some hinges, I'm gonna pop in the greenhouse here and show you our meat chicken setup. Okay, so these little guys are Freedom Rangers. There's 26 of them. This is Mike and I's 3rd time having this type of meat bird, and we feel like we are getting it down. The greenhouse situation is actually working really well for them. They've got plenty of food and water. It stays very warm in here during the day, about 90 degrees, 90 to 100 degrees or so. Lots of vents, so we're not getting too hot. This right here is a brooder plate, so they all huddle under that at night. It's working out really good. We're hoping to get that coop done so we can move them outside here in the next few days. We will be running power to it so we can move this brooder plate out. It's still too cold at night for these guys for probably another 3 weeks or so until they get all of their feathers. They're still pretty fuzzy right now.
All right, you guys, climb up in the loft here. Some of you guys may know that Liz and I built this loft as like our wintertime project. We've been storing a bunch of our hardware. Ooh, look, there's one. Ooh, there's 2. Let's see. Any more? Bunch of stuff up here.
I just threw some stuff up here. Okay, we were able to find 3 different hinges, which it should work just fine. You know, this is kind of a little bit pieced together, but we're gonna try to make it look as good as possible. So we're trying to get this door hung here pretty quick. I actually have to leave, meet my mom and lunch for town. So let's hope we can get this done in like an hour. Okay, very good.
Yep. Right there. Needs to be done.
Okay.
I really just want to see if it closes.
Yeah. Well, that actually worked out really good. Mike and I have hung a lot of doors, and it seems like we can't always get it right on the first time for various reasons, but this was like a one and done thing, so that's pretty cool. Since the door is hung, we're gonna finish up the metal next, I believe, and just kind of go from there.
It's gonna work.
Are you going to scratch your head?
Now that we have the door completed and working and the sidewalls up, the last step to completely enclose this thing in is going to be to put some siding, which Liz and I cut last night on the sawmill. We got a few strips of that cut out. It's just about 1/2 inch by whatever the board is. Some of them are really wide, over 1 foot wide, and we're just going to use that as like a lap siding on the sides.
Yeah, let's do it.
Thank you.
Since we have a little bit of a gap between this vertical cedar post and the one that goes across, we just cut little log rounds to fit on the end so that we can still screw the boards up.
Kind of messed up. We measured everything to the center of the post.
Yeah.
We got to go to the outside of the post, so that's why the top beams are to the center of the post and not the outside.
It should work though.
We'll make it work.
Okay, we got this side done with the exception of that little top piece right there, but I think we're going to move to the other side and then address both top pieces at the end when we kind of have a better idea of what we want to do.
All right, guys, so we have just a little bit left to do with the lap siding on either side, but before we tackle the last kind of top area, I think we want to do that all in one section. We need to put a post here for 2 reasons. 1, to catch the door so we can latch the door, and 2, we're going to make this half hinged so we can open it up and use this as, you know, some sort of shelter from the elements for the bigger livestock. And with having this big wall hinge, this is going to be framed in and everything. We need like a good attachment point, something pretty solid right here. So we're putting a post in. Hold the door right there. Post works. I think our next move is to probably cut some more boards, slab some more boards out to use as this wall right here, and then we want to build a frame inside this wall. But first we need to cut the boards to build that.
Okay, so we got our siding material cut for this door opening. We went a little bit thinner on these ones than we did on the actual siding of the coupe, just so it's a little lighter. Now we have this big 2x8-ish board. We're gonna cut it in half, and that's gonna be used as our frame. Okay, Mike, you got this frame built. We ran and got some hinges at the little hardware store down the road. So let's see if we can get this bad boy on there and working. What do you think?
I think we got it. It's gonna work.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be too bad. A little different than this. Overlaps it a little bit. So like stop. Okay, so
Okay, you guys, we are back down here the next morning. Hopefully this is the final day of this chicken coop sheep pen project. I'll explain to you guys everything we've done so far and what we have left to do. One of the last things we did last night was finish up this wall that opens and closes. Works out pretty good. We got the hinges on. We had to take this top board off, readjust it a little bit because right at first it wouldn't open. It was hitting this wall here, but we got that figured out. Now it opens and closes perfectly. Mike actually came down and put some hardware on this door. This latch is pretty cool. It's old. This was actually the latch on the front door of our old house. We took it with it, so it's getting repurposed. So that's done. It looks awesome. So what we have left to do is finish up both walls. We need to just cut one piece for there, one piece for there. We're gonna put up some chicken wire on this back wall here as a vent. You know, this shelter is not going to be getting used much during the winter. It's mostly going to be a summertime shelter. So we're going to need all the ventilation we can get because it does get hot here in the summertime. We have a bit of dirt work to do, smooth all this out. We have to get some gravel for the inside of there, just make the outside look nice, you know, fill up the back with some more rocks. We actually need to go get a couple more hinges for the legs that fold down when we open this up. And then that should be it, right?
you need to order a coupe door, one of those automatic coupe doors.
Yep.
And then once that gets here, then this will be done. But yeah, everything you said, that should finish this project for today.
Yeah, we hopefully we should be good on that.
I'm ready to be done.
Same. On to the next thing. Oh yeah, I forgot about, we're gonna put some corner pieces on all the corners. First of all, to make it look nice, and then to just kind of protect from this jagged metal. But then that's it.
Let's do it.
cool, that worked out. Both those top pieces are good. I think next up, might start cutting some chicken wire for that back part right there. Okay, you guys, we are at the point where I think we're going to get some chicks in here. Mike just put this little board up in front of the wall and the door. That's so that they can't scratch all this bedding outside. We were going to go with gravel, but we kind of brainstormed a little bit, decided against that. So this is just wood chips. You know, as we kind of clean that out, we'll most likely be using like sawdust from the sawmill as bedding in here. These chicks are still pretty tiny, so they're not going to be going outside just yet. They will just be contained to this area. We have everything completely blocked off. Nothing can get in and out. So I'm excited to get those little things out of the greenhouse and into here. Okay, you guys, let's take a peek in here. Chicks are in. Everybody is happy. We've got a couple chicks that are struggling. They've been in here several days now. I'd say last night was actually night number 2, so this is day 3. So far, we've lost 3 chicks, and there's 2. You can see the one laying there, and then this one here seem like they're kind of struggling. We're not totally sure what's going on. They're a lot smaller than the rest of the chicks, so I think that maybe they're just small chicks and not quite getting the nutrients they need. Hopefully they pull through. You know, every chick that dies, that's $4. We paid $4 per chick, so we're hoping as many pull through as they can. The rest of them, besides those 2, seem to be pretty healthy. They like it in here. It's not nearly as warm as it was in the greenhouse, but they're able to sit in the sun, have some shade if they so please. But so far, this setup is working out really, really good. The last couple of nights, we've used our Grow Watt power station to run this brooder plate, which it's worked out perfectly. The last thing that we have to do to really get this setup going is run power from our little power box right here over to the coop. We want to do that so that we can have electricity in here, plug that brooder plate in for when these chicks are really tiny. And then we also want to just have a power source for fence chargers. So we're not just solely relying on the sun for that one. We can plug it in if we need to because we do have power hooked up. So what we've got to do is dig a little trench. We're going to be burying a wire, put it all the way over to the little coop right there, and then make an outlet box right here and right there. Hot, hot, hot.
But we got it.
We did it, and I'm really happy and proud of us. We got this thing done.
Looks good. We're calling it the Sloop Coop because obviously there's a bit of a sloop to it.
Yep.
And we kind of, you know, are building these type of outbuildings a little, or I guess a lot more roughly in some people's opinion for sure. So what happened here was we actually only used poles as our beams, and unfortunately reversed them to each other also, so it really exaggerated it. So I think in the future, if we ever use poles as like our main beam, we should cut them flat.
Right.
Because other than that, it looks pretty good.
The whole thing does look good. We were at the point where we noticed that this thing was kind of slanted, that it was a little bit too late, so we just kind of rolled with it. It shouldn't affect it like functionally. The snow, you know, if it slides, it slides. You know, we might have to come get it off anyways. No big deal. You know, it's a nice conversation starter.
Yeah, it's cool. It's unique. It's like something out of a Dr. Seuss book. So
Yeah.
it fits in perfectly here on our homestead. But
Exactly.
it's cool. So we got everything buttoned up, the chicken wire on the back of the vents.
Yeah.
We got all the trim done up. We just finished up the electrical in here. So now this thing is good to go. We can put the chicks in here from day one, since we have the power to run the brooder plate,
Yep.
all the way up until they are ready to go outside, which on that note, we need to order a chicken door
I know, yeah.
cut into this. I guess that'll be the last step, but we don't have it yet, so we gotta order it.
Yeah, they still have, you know, a couple more weeks until they're able to even go outside. So luckily we just have a little bit of time before that happens. All in all, I'm really happy that this is finished. The hinged wall is a really cool thing.
Yeah.
We won't show you guys right now just because the chicks would go scattered about, but it's really cool. I'm excited to use that for when the chicks are gone and the sheep are in here. you
Yeah.
know?
Really cool multi-purpose outbuilding structure, shelter, chicken coop, sloop coop, whatever you want to
Sloop
call it.
coop.
So yeah, it turned out good. What we really appreciate is that you guys watched all the way to this point in the video. If you have not checked out our other channel, Laid Back Living, feel free to ask some comments down below, and then on Laid Back Living, we'll be answering those questions in just a little bit.
Yeah.
And until then, hasta.
Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time.